Good morning and welcome to the news. No, it's not. But I'll tell you what, folks, we just want to confuse you this morning. We put the footy set into temporary retirement. We've got a few technical problems with that, and we've got the fantastic Geelong news set on this morning, as you can see in the background. One camera, yep, we're budgeting, all three of us on one camera, which a lot of people couldn't believe that could possibly happen with me. But here we are. We had a great weekend of footy anyway last weekend with Belpost still too good for Anarchy, Brett Gergic kicking 7 goals. East Geelong too good for Geelong West with Brian Closter kicking 7 goals. Inverleigh defeated Corio. Winchelsea thumped Belmont Lions. Floor manager's not happy about that one. North Geelong Magpies still on a roll. Paul Brigitte kicking 5 goals again. Too good for the Tommy Tigers out at the Thunderdome. And the 94.7 match of the round, the Bannockburn Tigers inflicted the very first defeat against the all-conquering Werribee Centurions. Are they gone? I don't think so. It was only 1 week, but we'll soon see because a big game on this afternoon, which we'll talk more about that. Hello, I am Dick Philpott, and welcome again, yes, and I've assembled some of the biggest names and brains in local football to eradicate, adjudicate, and procrastinate about all the big action on this afternoon. Firstly, with me doing the talking is the legend from the Bannockburn Tigers, Dale Smith. Good morning, Dale.
Good morning, Dick. Nice to be back here again this morning, and let's hope the weather finds up for this afternoon.
Lovely to see you. And, of course, the other bloke who needs absolutely no introduction, we brought him in from the interchange bench, one of the founders of the Footy Show, Jason Doherty. G'day, Jason.
Hello, Richard. How are you?
It's great to be all on the one camera, isn't it?
Well, it's good to be on the one camera because I don't think the president would be too happy with that sponsorship that you've got on your shirt there.
Oh, you weren't supposed to mention that.
Dick Philpott Finance.
I had to go out and see somebody this morning. Early this morning to see somebody had business, and then I had to fly into the studio, and of course, I do apologise. No sponsorship intended whatsoever, Dick Philpott Finance, as you can see. And anyway, a big game on Saturday, but before we go into that, we'll have a couple of interviews. Firstly, we've got Ross Dillon, the coach of the Bannockburn Tigers, and David Leach, the coach of the Werribee Centrals. Here's Cal Lather.
Ross, how important was that win in the context of your season?
That win was really important after last week. Dropping that game at North Geelong made this game extra important just for us to stay that game clear of those 3 sides below us, so it really helps.
Were you impressed with how your team moved the ball around the ground, particularly last week after some of the troubles that you had moving the ball out of the back line?
Yeah, we took it on today a bit more. Even though we knew it was wet, we still wanted to take the game on, so it was pleasing that we did actually try and switch the ball a bit, even though it was wet.
Yeah. Did you believe that the fact that it was wet, it would sort of play into your players' hands, but particularly because they're good at ground level and good skills?
Yeah, we thought it might help us a little bit, but we just come. You don't plan for wet weather, you don't plan for dry weather. We just come to play. And it was either one way, we are smaller, so it was helping us, but we are smaller bodies as well, which hurts us around the contest, so it broke even. So.
All right, thanks very much.
No, thanks,
David,
mate.
disappointing loss today. Where do you think your side broke down?
Yeah, mate, it was always going to be tough. The guys have really got themselves up over the last couple of weeks, and there's 12 out at the moment, and 10 of those will come back. And the other 2, don't worry, they're probably more long term. So there's probably only 5 or 6, probably 4 or 5 next week, and then 4 or 5 the week, 2 or 3 weeks later. So the young blokes, mate, they've done a great job. Our first quarter was good. They handled the ball better than us, mate, today. They were cleaner, and we fumbled a lot through the middle. And we gave away, I think, 2 50s and 4 free kicks on a day like today, which caused 4 goals. And we're 4 goals down at 3/4 time. So, mate, no, don't take anything away from them. They've done a great job. They play good footy, but at the same time, we're probably a little bit more undisciplined than they were, I reckon. And at the same time, they had cleaner skills than we did through the middle.
Does it damage your self-belief of your side, or you just told the players, look, we had a few injuries, totally new slate next week, or do you think you'll keep that in the back of your mind going in finals, use it as motivation?
Yeah, you never forget about it, mate. A loss is a loss, and I hate losing. So, so you always got to remember, and you always got to keep it in the back of your mind. But on a day like today, the guys done an okay job. I thought they were probably about 60-65% today, so they've done a good job. But don't worry, we'll keep it in the back of our mind. But at the moment, I will be hitting the delete button.
Can you just tell us about a couple of the injuries too, particularly the major ones, Hardingham and Rosenwig in particular? Nah.
Buffer's done his calf, right? So Buffer's been off for 3 or 4, so he's probably got another 3 or 4 to go. Shenry centre half forward probably 2 or 3 weeks away. And then you've got all the on-ball brigade, which and Simon Calvert, Johnsy, Berkey will come back over the next couple of weeks. So maybe not North Geelong, probably the week after.
Thanks very much, Dave.
No worries, mate. Cheers.
Thank you.
And Cal Lather will be back again next week with a couple of great interviews from the Werribee Centrals and North Geelong clash at the Keith Barclay Oval. as we intimated before the break, yes, the 94.7 match of the round was the clash out at Bannockburn with the Bannockburn Tigers inflicting the first defeat against Werribee Sentinels. And I did say with tongue-in-cheek, guys, that are Werribee gone? Who's going to be the first to say that?
Look, Dick, I don't think they're gone. They played with probably 6 blokes that would regularly play on that side, or didn't play with 6 blokes that regularly play on that side. But Bannockburn won the game like they had to win the game. As I said, they got away to a pretty good start. It was pretty tight right through probably half time, and then they sort of opened the game up a little bit. I think just the quality of player made the difference. But it just, you get blokes like Calvert back in that side, and John's back in that side, Hardigan back in that side, Burke back in that side. There's 2 or 3 others I just can't mention now. But they played a pretty good brand of football. Pilkington, who'd been successful up forward from the last 2 weeks, failed to get a kick or struggled to get a kick up forward, was actually moved, I think, to the centre wing or half-back flank. So they probably didn't have the same setup and the same continuity that they'd had over recent weeks. And obviously the opposition being Bannockburn and obviously North Geelong this week, they're probably the likelihood of getting players back again is pretty unlikely. So it's going to be an interesting situation for them. Lovell works well in the centre, but they just didn't have enough cattle on the paddock to get over the top of Bannockburn. And
Pilkington didn't contribute at all much this weekend. He's been fantastic the last 2 weeks, 16 in 2 weeks and nothing on Saturday.
Yeah, it probably wasn't the game for him in terms of the weather. The weather was, we had a downpour before it started, and the water on the ground probably didn't go well for him. He was a bit of a marking forward, so they moved him up the ground. But don't take anything away from Bannockburn. They had to bounce back after their loss the week before to North Geelong, so they did play well to get in the game. Ross Dillon controlled things across centre half back as good coaches do. And really, brought a lot of players across the midfield into the game. And, they were great. They had Bradford Tula, who, had an outstanding game. They had Aaron Eddy up forward kicking goals and Pat Dillon kicking goals as well. So they really did well in the conditions. They probably outsmarted Werribee in some respects in parts of the game, the way they played. So it was a great result for the Tigers.
Great result indeed. And, of course, this week, everybody, it's Heart Kids Week in Geelong. And the GDFL are making a great contribution. That's the only footy league in Geelong that's supporting it this weekend. And you'll see in the footy record that's out today, a fantastic edition commemorating that particular edition as well. And after the break, we're going to be interviewing Christian, who is the ambassador for Heart Kids. That'll be coming up shortly. We're going to take that short break. When we come back, we'll talk to the gentleman from Heart Kids, the ambassador, Christian, back after this.